Welcome to the Empowerment Hour. It is 1 p.m. on Wednesday, and you are tuned in to the Kofifi FM 97.2. This Autism Awareness Month, we are focusing on conversations that equip and empower our parents. We discuss autism and adolescence. Today, we specifically discuss or understand supporting the boy child. As our motto this year at Randburg Clinic School, we say, no child left behind. Adolescence can be a complex stage for any child, but for neurodiverse children, it comes with a lot of challenges, unique challenges and opportunities. Stay tuned. Good afternoon and welcome to the Empowerment Hour at Randburg Clinic School. It is 1 p.m. and I'm joined in studio by my two favorite guests, I would say cool dads. Let's introduce ourselves. Gents?
Sure. My name is Pascal Kale. I'm a parent at the school. Also a father of a 17-year-old boy with autism. His name is Alba Kotomula.
I'm Muzwa Mabuza. I'm a father to Zwelo Mabuza, a 13-year-old boy on the autism spectrum, and I'm also a SGP member at the school.
Thank you. Please tell us about your family structure.
Okay, so I'll start with myself. I'm a married man. I wanted the mic here, so
it's very important. It's very important.
So I've got 3 kids. Abaku is the firstborn, so 17. My daughter is 7 years, and then I've got a 1 year and 3 months old boy. So it's good to have that structure that is a bit stable. It has its own challenges, but we do enjoy having that kind of setup.
That's good. Mr. Mabuz?
So I'm a divorced father of 2 boys, 11 and 13. As I mentioned, Zwelo is 13. I have a shared custody with my ex-wife, so my kids are with me for a fortnight, and then they go to her, and then back and forth like that. So that's the sort of structure that they're being raised within.
Nice, good.
Yeah.
So tell us more about character of your son, Mr. Mabuz.
So Zwelo, he's a gentle giant, if you can put it that way. I say a giant because he's literally my size now. We wear the same size clothes. I literally do shopping in my own wardrobe for him. But he's a very quiet boy. He's a very kind-hearted boy. He's very considerate. He's very thoughtful. He's very enthusiastic, specifically on things that he's interested in. He's very enthusiastic, so that's who he is. He's very artistic.
Yes.
He loves drawing, draws every day. I go through Typack. I need a sponsorship. I go through paper business. So
let's hope let's hope they couldn't come through. They pull through.
So in terms of his character, that's the type of boy that he is. He does karate. He's a blue belt karate student. He's very active. We do mountain biking. He's also a golfer. And we support each other. His brother plays club soccer, so we're always at his games and we're always at his dojo. So
no, we should find some time and we play one game at least.
By all means.
Of course. Mr. Gal. That response, that first response.
No, because you can understand, it's a ball for him. The pressure. But my son is more reserved. He's a reserved person and he enjoys his gadgets, man. So unlike Mabuza, he's doing multiple things like golf and soccer. My son just prefers to his own space.
Yeah.
Even when we go out and try to do other things with him, he just want to go back home and play with his tablet or play with his PS and all those things. The only thing that I can worry about, he says my business problem, that with me it's you know, with autistic kids they get bored very quickly.
Yes.
So you buy him a game and then he plays it for a month or two, then he wants it more.
Yeah.
You can buy him 4. He will make sure that within that 2 months he's played all 4 of them.
Sure.
He's done. He wants to move on to something. So now he's got this new obsession of wanting the latest gadget that is out there. So you know, our kids don't understand the financial pressures that come with this thing. So he just looks at something like, yeah, I want this thing. Please write down your Christmas list with PSP, PS5, Nintendo. They're like, which one do you want? About all of them.
Sure.
So yeah.
You know, there was an article I read some time back that was talking about the unspoken responsibility or pressure on like fathers or dads, that no matter what happens, you are the provider. Our market doesn't, or Zwelo doesn't know or doesn't care. Okay, will it happen or will it not? I believe it. Like I believe it was speaking more of a belief of a child. They believe so much in dad in such a way that they know at the back of my head, if I say, Dad, I need this,
if I put too much pressure,
if I put too much pressure, it will
just
happen.
need to repeat it more.
Yeah, it just
like
I
I'm
need to.
doing it every morning when you puppy, you're sure, PS5. And then he goes brush his teeth, just for school. After school, like how was school? PS5.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, it's a journey. You know, with autism, it's a journey, and it's a fruitful one because of you learn a lot of things on a daily basis. So we all know about adolescence, and it comes with many challenges, from physical changes, emotional, and others. So with you, how are you coping with adolescence?
I'll say it was difficult at first, I won't lie. The changes that were happening to his body, he was a bit confused. You could see he started acting differently. It's no longer that cool boy that you always had, sweet boy sitting by the corner.
Yeah.
He was now aggressive. He was now wanting certain things to happen at his own pace.
Of course.
He would get into arguments with his sisters, and because he's non-verbal, so he feels like at times he can't say what he wants to say. So he gets a bit aggressive when he can. And 2 minutes later, you find him playing with the same siblings.
Sure.
He's now playing Robo blocks, and all of a sudden they are friends. He's showing them how to do certain things. So I think it was a bit confusing for him. He also was not understanding. Then he would just be bathing and would see one of these, the hair's growing, and then he's complaining, no, papi, remove this. Tomorrow he's looking at his pubic hair, remove it. And I'm like, but my guy, every day you're removing things. So, but I think that also, you know, with testosterone increasing on the body of a teenager, so I think that got to him a bit. He's better now. I think it's 2 years ago it was a bit difficult compared to this year. This year has been better than most. So I think the changes, the immediate impact is that they become different. I don't know about Zwelo, but those are the difficulties that I had, because he would just become something different that
Sure.
I had. But yeah, over time it's become a bit better.
Sure. Mr. Mabus, on your side, is it similar, or maybe you getting it in a different way?
So it's a bit different for us, simply because 2 things. The first thing is that I've got 2 boys. So the sibling aspect has there's a dynamic that it adds, right? Okay. And what do I mean by that? First and foremost, I started the conversation. I dealt with the puberty before I dealt with the adolescence. So I jumped in front of it, meaning that I started speaking to them about the changes in their bodies that are going to happen. Mainly because they're active kids. I started speaking to them about grooming. You know, making sure that they use deodorant, making sure that they use roll-on, you know, because I mean, when you pick them up from school or you pick them up after sport, yeah. You know, they can be really ripe.
Yeah.
They can smell really ripe. So they understand that aspect. You know, I spoke to them about, you know, them getting pubic hairs that will develop, and the fact that anywhere in your body where you've got hair, you're going to perspire. So that is very important then, to make sure that from a grooming perspective they wash very well. You know, I emphasize those things, you know, and to the fact that because the boys' age group is about 2 years. When the one hits a certain stage, the one hasn't yet hit that stage. So we get to talk about that as well. Do you know what I mean? To say, see what's happening with your brother. They shower together, so we can see that his brother's got pubes on his genitals. He's got pubes on his armpits. So we talk about the fact that you're also coming. It's also coming to your side. You know. So that was the first introduction that I made, and from there I began to have regular conversations, say annually maybe. You know, where we discuss certain things and certain changes that they should anticipate. So it made it a bit easier, I saw on my end, where there wasn't much confusion, there wasn't much, misunderstanding or anything. They expected to say, okay, this is going to happen to me too, okay, sharp. And also, because of his brother, it makes it a bit easier, some of the complex subjects or topic where the brother is able to help decode the wording, so to speak, understand, to say, no man, don't worry about this is that, you remember to put on your roll on, remember to do that, and so that sort of dynamic made it very easy for me. I was very privileged in that regard, you know.
So in essence, it goes with time, and with you've introduced that at an early stage. So did it make it easier, or it was just a learning curve? You just picked it up to say, okay, with me introducing it at an earlier stage, it made life easier, or how was it?
So, like I say, jumping in front of it makes it a lot more easier, because now as it happens, they have an understanding what is happening, as opposed to something happening and requiring explanation.
Yes.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The confusion comes from when you don't have the information first, right? But when you do have the information, as you go through it, you're not bothered as much, because you know that this is going to happen. And so we then delved into, the following year I escalated the subject, where now I spoke to them about the fact that, when you wake up in the morning, you're going to wake up with an erection. You ask them, what is an erection? No, I don't know, Dad. Then you walk them through that. You say, your body, blood rushes to a particular organ. And because of all that blood rushing there, it becomes stiff.
Yes.
And it becomes stiff simply because that's something you were thinking about. So I used a very good example. I said, as I was explaining all of this, I eventually said to my son, when you dream, when you're sleeping and you're dreaming about driving a car, when you wake up, doesn't mean you must take my car keys and go drive my car. He said, no, Dad. I said, exactly. So just because you dreamt about being with a woman or a girl, it doesn't mean that you must go be with a girl. You understand? It simply means that your body is getting ready for that, So all of these things are things that, as I say, as they happen, they don't freak out. Do you know what I mean? Because they remember, my dad told me about it. And after every conversation, I say to them, if you have any questions, come and ask me. If your friends tell you anything outside of what I'm saying, you come and verify with me. You can tell them that my father never said that, So I explain to them, even when it comes to, when they formulate sperms, I say, you're going to wake up one morning, you're going to find your underwear is going to be soiled. You mustn't feel embarrassed about it. It's simply your body just going through something. You understand? So I think what is important, the first thing as a parent you need to deal with is the fear. The fear of discomfort. To say, this conversation. Look, but I was pooping bricks myself, before I had the conversation, because I didn't have the language. I was wondering what sort of language do I use.
And another thing is it affects you because of you crack your head and be like, where do I start?
Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm sharing this because it's a natural process. That you're gonna go. It doesn't mean for me, it was just that simple. I'm on the corner. It didn't happen like that. I sat for months preparing myself to say, so now I'm going to talk to this guy about spams. I'm going to talk to this guy about, girls. I'm going to talk to this guy about sex. I'm going to talk. You understand? But it helps to build up to it, where you don't attack it all in one go. So you build up to it. You first deal with the grooming. then you deal with, the development, then you escalate, and like I say, over a period of time, the earlier you can start the process, the easier it becomes at the time that
makes
they
sense.
yes.
Makes sense. So on your side,
I wanted to add with regards to what Mr. Mabuzi just said. Two things that I realized that also affects the boy child. Mabuzi has 2 boys, so it helps. My son had his own cousin that was a year younger than him. So everything the cousin was doing, he was doing, learning from them. So you would see the development was structured in some things were hidden, so you couldn't see because they were doing things together. You think, okay, it's progressing like this, but as soon as the cousin moved away, because he now lives with his father in Northwest. Now you can see my son is a bit more isolated. He does his own things, and my son has ADHD, and he's not. How do I say it? Like not. He does speak, so he only uses a word. He doesn't use the full sentence. You can't have a conversation. Mabuza can. I know you can sit together and have a chat.
Yeah.
With my son, it's different. So what my wife and I do is that we use images to actually try to show him what we're actually referring to. But over time, we repeat the same thing over and over again. So we say it slowly, like, then we would see something on TV, then we make an example of that. Or we see something while reading, then we show it to him. Then we'll start laughing. Then he knows what this is.
Of course.
But there's 3 things that, like, Mabuza was talking about an erection, then we will look with the erection. A normal boy child will just come in and hide himself. He doesn't want to be seen.
Yeah.
My son will just walk in, Papa, like nothing is happening.
Sure.
With an erection, people are seated there. And my wife's side of the family is mostly the ladies. So he comes in and the women are sitting there. No, they are not. Yeah, at first they were, but then they understand. So he just comes in, and then he sees there. He wants to hug people, hug, kissing. I know. So now we've had to teach him. Oh no, don't do this.
Yeah.
You can kiss mom, you can kiss daddy, but don't kiss the others. Don't do this. Don't do that. He would laugh, but over a period of time, then he started to understand. So I realized they're using the images and also the whatever the visuals that we see on TV and just talking to making examples of small things, then it has helped a lot. But one thing that helps the most is having a sibling that almost similar age that you can mirror from to do certain things.
I think that one is very important.
Yeah, I know it works for us.
It helps a lot. It helps a lot. So given that you know how we grow up, it's different to how they growing. So on your guys' stages when you were on, if you can think back, when you were going through puberty, did you have same opportunity of saying, Kazi, okay, my guy, this is how we do it, or these are the don'ts, these are the don'ts, do's and don'ts, and did you have that opportunity?
For me, no. So I was raised by a single mom, so there are challenges to that. So it's only my mother was there, and then my mother only had siblings that were closer to her, were mostly females. And the only male person that I knew was my grandfather. He was just himself. So it means a lot of things that I learned, I had to learn them myself. Because when I got to that age, my brother had already gone to, because we were from Free State, so he came to Joburg to study at Vets. So by then, I was alone. So I needed to navigate the whole thing on my own. So you experiment a lot. Everything experimental. You just and then you're listening to the guys tweaking by the corner there. You're like, yeah, no, me too. Yeah, you are learning from the streets, and it's not always the right things.
Of course.
Now some are exaggerating these things, and whenever you're thinking this is reality, you don't have someone that can actually guide you through these things. So that was my difficulty. So I'm just glad that I turned out to be right. But I think so. A lot of people do not agree with you, but I do believe I turned out right. So those are the challenges that actually happens in the child's life. So that's why I've always made sure that I have that proper structure for my son, because I know the challenges that come with single parenting. I've always been there. No matter what has happened with my partner, we always knew our goal is to make sure we stay together and raise a family with our own cultures. We teach our kids everything that needs to be taught, because learning from the streets is not.
I think Mr. Mabuza, learn from the streets, or you had that opportunity. Because of some of us, hey, most of the things, given another thing is with me on my side, growing up, you know, when you have that very, very strict father, that, hey, nothing passes and it's either this way or the highway.
Yeah.
You know, at some point, you are even scared to say, a timer. Something is not coming out. There's a leak somewhere.
I think this is a very important question that you've just asked.
Yeah.
I'm going to speak on a couple of levels. The first level is, earlier on you spoke about fatherhood and provision.
Yeah.
Right? So, our society today has reduced the man to a provider.
Yeah.
So what now happens is that our entire identity gets wrapped up in provision.
Sure.
To the point that when you can't provide, you literally lose your essence, you lose your identity, you lose your manhood.
Yeah.
Do you understand? When there's actually way more things that make up a man beyond just provision, number one.
Sure.
Number two, there is also a societal, I'd say a previous or value where, as a man, you are identified via authority. You spoke about a strict father, right? Where if they are scared of me, then I'm doing the right job.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Not realizing the fact that there is so much more to being a father, a leader, and a head of a home beyond just inflicting fear or instilling fear. Do you understand what I'm saying? I call myself a helicopter parent or a helicopter dad. I am extremely involved in my kids' lives. I want to ensure that everything that my kids go through, I have given them ample opportunity and ample preparation for it.
Yeah.
Beyond just the physical, beyond just, the psychological, which is the aspect of adolescence now, right?
Yes.
I'm responsible for my kids' confidence. When my kids go out into the world, how they deal with the world, I'm responsible for having prepared them.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So I say this to say, sometimes we get frustrated because we don't have the answers. So what we do as fathers, we shield ourselves via instilling fear. Or if they are scared of me, they're not going to come to me with that question that I don't have an answer for. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If the fridge is full of groceries, what do you want from me? No, don't start with me. I've done my job. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a part of how we close up and how we, cover ourselves and protect our ego and our dignity, we shield ourselves off. We close ourselves off. Where now the kids cannot even come and talk to you. Not growing up, your question was growing up, did I have that? I didn't. Sure. I was the last born of 4 kids. I had an older brother. He had no interest in me. Yeah. He never walked me through any of these stages. Now I was left to go ask Machita. Problem come Machita.
Yeah.
They exaggerated, they tell me things,
But even if you're trying to test them, it's impossible.
The worst part is the end result of all of that. It knocks your confidence.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I started school at 5. So all my friends were a year or 2 years older than me. So you can imagine development-wise, they were way ahead.
Yeah.
So now they're bragging about, hey, they've got hair on their armpits, hey, I'm schooled, Baba. It's just, you understand? That thing, it knocks your confidence 6 love. You understand?
Yeah.
Now, they go and they tell you other things that, probably when you haven't slept with a girl. Yeah, well, what do you know about sleeping with a girl?
Yeah.
You're still a lady. Now these things, they work on you.
You're under pressure now.
These things, they work on you.
Sure.
These things propel. These things, they propel a lot of misconceptions about how you become. Yeah. The process of becoming. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because of this pressure, I had a conversation with ladies one day. We were looking at a picture of a bunch of boys sitting in the corner. All those ladies they started trembling. And then, Baramuna, you don't understand the trauma that goes with seeing boys in the corner like that. Get why? But when as a girl, when you have to walk past those boys, when they gave me that perspective, my brother, I realized some of the problems we are dealing with in this country, where the problems are perpetuated by gaps
Yes.
where there's information that is not filtered through, and people being given the right information to be able to go through certain stages properly. So because of the misinformation, we find ourselves violating.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? You are groomed by these boys, the older boys. I mean, we could be boys like this. You are older than us.
Yeah.
I'm giving you now a perspective of a corner. A lot of guys, South African guys, glorify a corner. But that place is a horrible place. It's a horrible foundation, that place.
Very toxic.
Unfortunately, because there is no support at home, you end up there.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, we are all boys, right? You are older than us. But out of entertainment, you turn around and you say, Paseka, Buza, he's scared of Buzu. Now, Paseka has to now back up. I'm not scared of him.
I don't care.
So, I'm alright. Now, me and Paseka are very good friends. All of a sudden now, we're being pitted against each other.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, what does that do? It destroys my relationship with him. It knocks my confidence.
Yeah.
I now victimized just like how you victimized me.
Yeah, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
It's a continuous thing.
Create a cycle of violation. We create a culture of violation now. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For me, part of the reason I jumped in front of this thing is because I worried about my son in his urges, being under pressure to now grab a girl and go behind a building. I dread that phone call.
Yeah.
And this is why I took the responsibility to say, I'm going to walk this guy through this thing. So that he never feels the pressure to act out of bounds. Do you understand what I'm saying? And this is why I made the example of saying, you can dream about driving a car. Doesn't mean when you wake up, you must take my keys and go drive my car outside.
Yeah.
When the time comes for you to get your license, by all means, you'll get your own keys, we'll get you a car, you will enjoy your freedom.
Yeah. No, I think you've said a mouthful in that regard, because of, I think it's a conversation we need to have so that we prepare the upcoming generation to actually know of these changes and how to regulate their emotions, and it basically teaches them the rights and the wrongs as a man. But yeah, thank you. We're going to head straight to the break. We'll be coming back. Thank you so much.
Hello and welcome to Education Segment by RCS Media. My name is Robin Amoretti and I'm the speech language pathologist at Rambo Clinic School. Today I'm going to be talking to you about autism. So what is autism? Autism, or autism spectrum disorder, or sometimes just ASD, is a neurodevelopmental condition. This means that it is a lifelong condition that affects how the brain develops and functions. ASD is characterized by persistent difficulties with social communication and interaction, restrictive and repetitive behaviors, interests, or activities. But what does autism look like? Autism looks different on everyone. Each person has their own strengths and challenges. For example, some autistic people find speaking challenging and are non-verbal or minimally verbal, while others can communicate verbally or with pictures or with gestures. How common is autism? Globally, 1 in every 1,000 children has autism. In South Africa, the rough estimate is roughly 2% of our population has autism. Anybody can be autistic, regardless of sex, age, race, or ethnicity, but research has noted that it's more common in boys. This may be because autism looks different in girls, and it's unrecognized by doctors. What causes autism? There are many causes, but research says it's a combination of genetics, environmental factors, and social influences. An example of environmental factors are things like older fathers, pesticides, low birth weight, and prematurity, among others. Is autism on the rise? It does feel like it is, but this is also because the world is more aware of it. The diagnostic criteria is now broader, and our screening tools are better. So what can you expect from RCS Education Segment? We hope to provide a platform for learning about ASD, as well as tips and tricks on how you can work with children with autism. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, share it, and stay tuned for more videos.
Welcome back. I'm still with Mr. Mabuza and Mr. Lekale. And we are still on the topic autism and adolescence. So, Mr. Paseka, the transition into training, preparing Aubagwe in this regard, how has it been, the journey?
I can say, I like Mr. Mabuza. Mr. Mabuza is very good with these things. For me, I just, it helps to have a school like Rwanda Clean School, because they whatever that they teach them at the school, they bring those things home. So you can see where they are.
Yes.
So I take from there, then I continue doing it at home. But then I practicalize a lot of things. Like, my son learns from me showing him how to do certain things.
Mm-hmm.
So my wife and I realized that we used to just touch each other every now and then.
Mm.
And then the boy now is touching.
He's imitating.
Yeah, he's touching now. He's like kissing. He's like, open mouth. And I'm thinking, my guy, so now what's happening? What's happening? Open mouth. But then it was okay because it was just us.
Oh,
It becomes difficult when now you have visitors. And you think, okay, he wants to hug, he just wants to show his affection to the parents.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's cousins coming in, and cousins that are a year or two younger than him. Now he's like kissing. No, it's okay if it's a young boy coming to it. But then once it gets to that level, you start to wonder, okay, so then what happens when he's at school? You see? So we then became conscious of that thing, and we stopped doing it in front of him. So we do hug each other, and we teach him that you can be affectionate without actually doing anything extra. So we just give hugs. I do the fist thing, and then the hugging thing. I'm trying to show him what is currently happening. So now that's how I actually show him certain things.
So basically it's like we're moving slowly.
Yeah, slowly into
a structure rather than the free flow that was there before.
Yeah, because remember it was a culture shock. Because one day he just wakes up with an erection and he's standing in front of everyone. So now I'm thinking, okay, so now where do I start? Okay, I can talk to the guy, but how do I talk to him? Because he's energetic. You'll be talking to him 2 minutes later, he's holding a joystick. Now he wants to fix the TV because something is not... Yeah, so he's very busy. And you're thinking, okay, baby, look at your son. Then we start saying your son. No, he's a boy. You're supposed to do your job, Papa. So I always say, no, I never had a father. So when at least
so is that the scapegoat now?
Yeah, you have a structure. So, but then we do it as a joke. At the end of the day, we have to do it, and we do try to do it. But I can tell you, every time I'm sitting with Buzel, I'm thinking, hey, my guy, you're cozy nice. But then when he starts explaining what he has to prepare before he does those things, I'm thinking, okay, no, I'm okay. Yawawe doesn't need me to prepare for those things because, it's only when I hear the first part, then he'll be gone. He doesn't. His attention is very short. I can imagine sitting with Zwelo there with his brother and having to explain, Majita, please don't touch those girls. So that is the topic that Mr. Mabuza, I'm sure he'll be comfortable dealing with. But like he said, it takes him a few months to prepare.
Sure.
So for me, I go with the flow, my guy, and then it helps to have guidance from the school. So whenever they have, like the last time they had a topic about bullying and all that. So at least I knew about it, so I could actually continue to do the same thing at home. It just becomes a bit difficult when it's something that I have to introduce myself. I struggle a lot with regards to that, but I've started reading and learning certain things. But autism is a spectrum, my guy, so it's different with every child. So with mine, it might be more difficult than other people because a child that is on the spectrum and also ADHD, it's a serious thing that you have to deal with. So that's why parents need to be careful when they listen to such, because your child might be able to sit down and talk to you and listen to certain things that you can say, or you show them. But then you'll have another one that is too busy to do anything.
Sure. Yeah.
So we need to actually realize that when they say it's a spectrum, it means that it's going to be different with every child. So you just need to study your child and try to find ways that you can improve your conversations with him. Just try. Like I said, with me, it's easy with the visuals. And I've seen it works. Even if it's a song, then he sings a certain song, then I start repeating after him. Or I play a certain song that speaks about something that I want to discuss. If it does get in there, then I start repeating because he likes this repetition thing. So start repeating first rule of the house, this and this. Second rule, because he watched this other movie about Fight Club. So what is the first rule of Fight Club? So now I'm saying, what is the first rule of doing certain things? Then now he knows. So I try to relate to the things that he enjoys the most.
Just to add on what Mr. Lekana said, I think sometimes we shouldn't limit ourselves in our thinking. And what do I mean by that? You don't always have to limit yourself to what is available within your four walls in your house.
Okay.
I recently am having a challenge with my one son. And the challenge is he's very lazy. He's whenever he does something, he's capable of going 100%, but he'll do 75%. And the more I talk to him, the more I'm struggling to reach him and have him understand. So eventually I spoke to his one cousin that he's very fond of. And he's at varsity currently. And I said, look, I need you to help me with this guy. I realize he's having a challenge with this. And he confirmed to say, no, I know him. He's like that, And he said, he responds better to competition. He performs better if you say, let's see who'll do it better between us. Then you'll see, So I then realized that, okay, so he's actually got a competitive nature. So anytime that, you want to inspire him, you must add a competitive element. So I'm trying to say, sometimes you may not have, like yourself say, you may not have, other boys in the house. But, you can tap into, a cousin, a friend's child that, he's familiar with or anything. So that even if you're having the conversation, because the other one is there, it makes it a little easier as well to be able to walk through, the subject matter in itself, you understand? The other surprising thing is with my son. You may think that, I often say that Zwelo's autism limits him in his comprehension. Sometimes you are explaining something, but you can see that he's seriously confused. What are you talking about? But I find that, like I say, when I break down the conversation, when I try and simplify it, it's amazing what they are also able to grasp when we think they don't understand. I recently broached the subject of masturbation. You can imagine. I was pooping bricks again.
For sure.
However,
how long did it take for you to prepare for that?
No, it took me 12 months. Easy from the last conversation that we had. Because I had to find my words. I had to find the language that would land wow. Do you see what I'm saying? That would not shock him as well. That would also not shock me. At some point I even considered, do I need to play a video? I didn't know. I was trying to figure this thing out, do you understand? However, eventually what I did is I walked them through the process about the fact that, firstly, what does an erection mean? Right? Secondly, so how I explained it was, you know, when you need to pee, nobody tells you that you need to pee, right? You feel it. You feel it, right? You feel pressure that you need to go pee. Similarly, when you get an erection, it's also an urge for a different kind of pee that needs to come out. Now, I can imagine why it took 12 months. I can imagine why it took 12 months. The next question is, how do you get that pee out? Okay. So I motioned to them to say, well, you grab your penis and you stroke it. And as you stroke it, you will feel that you will want to pee. And that pee kind of looks like mucus. It looks very gooey. There's nothing wrong with it. That's just how it is. However, just make sure you take toilet paper and you wipe yourself, put it in the loo and you flush. You either do it in your bedroom, in the privacy of your bedroom, or in the bathroom. The boy sat there and said, okay, Dad. One day, I'm making my way to my bedroom after the boys had gone to bed. I realized the bathroom is on. As I peeped, I found the man handling his business. Handled his business, wiped himself off, put it in the loo, flushed, went back to bed. My guy, I was extremely, extremely proud. The fact that, not only the fact that he was able to handle his business like how I explained it to him, but the fact that he grasped the whole concept of it.
Sure.
And the bagger waited for his brother to sleep first before he goes.
You said private.
But my point around this is the fact that when you understand what is going on and what is happening to you, you are in a more informed position. You are in a more calmer position to deal with whatever it is that is happening, you understand? And even if somebody is to come and try and make you feel bad about it, the fact that your own father doesn't see anything wrong and actually walked you through this thing, you can tell that person, whatever your story is, I don't care. Go high. Our home,
like this.
This is how it's done. And so for me, my next conversation now is when dude comes back and says, Daddy, I like so-and-so. That's my next task. No, you can't say ish. You can't. I say you can't. You know why? No.
Yes, I understand. But now it will take you another...
Correct. All I'm saying is that your response to problems determines how you're going to deal with them. Do you see what I'm saying? If ever you're going to take already it says that you are anticipating struggle. Do you see what I'm saying? But if your response is, okay, what now? It's a different position. You are more poised to better respond to it as opposed to responding with anxiety.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Makes sense, yeah. So, boundaries are a very important aspect of growth. Pasek, how do you handle, given that you did mention that for Aubakwe to come out erected, the people are sitting, it's normal to him. Remember that it's normal to him. But the receiving end of others is something else. So how do you handle boundaries? Or how did you tackle, or what is your...
How did you introduce boundaries?
How did you introduce them?
So, like I said, I think it relates to how I explained the previous thing, because I did say I teach him by visuals. So most things I do at home. So I would show him, like I said, it's the first thing is there, just to make sure, because he was more into the hugs. So I realized he was hugging women more than the guys. So it'd be like a guy hugging. Then you see the ones with the big boobs. The hugs are going multiple times. It's like hugging. Then I realized this time went by, oh no man, this is more than a hug. He's enjoying the feeling of being touched by boobs. So I started telling him, no, this is how you do a hug. This is your hug. So I the side hug. So now when he does the hug, it's the hug, and then his back is going hug. So I'm realizing it took him a year though. All along he was squeezing, but he was going in. So I had to do. So for me, it's more about it's an everyday journey. So you try to teach him same thing over and over again until he gets to understand what needs to be done. So, like I said, it's different with every child. So that's what parents need to understand, that it can't always be the same solution. How I did things was based on my circumstances, the situation that I was in. With Mr. Mabuza, it's different because he's got a different situation. So if parents can grasp that, to say there's no one solution for everything. We just need to learn with our children to say, my child is like this, so this is how I have to tackle this thing.
I think most parents, if they could have that mindset, I think we could tackle a lot of issues or situations.
But also having parents like Mr. Mabuza, people that are able to even the strategy to say, okay, this is how I'm going to do it, and have the because the reality is that some of us, we could have done better, but
because of fear.
We didn't have, man. We just lucky. So Mr. Mabuza does it, even when he chats to us about certain things. I remember with the father's group, he started talking about masturbation, and the guys, you could see,
they're uncomfortable.
And then he said it in the middle of a serious discussion. You talking about it's like, like Mr. then you could see no one responded.
Yeah.
Then he went on and on and on.
Yeah.
And then we took it over, then we moved to the next subject. We moved away from it without actually addressing this matter. And he was teaching us something. Now from that conversation I learned, or sometimes you need to have, you need to have the chest to do it. Yeah.
You know, I attribute this to how we've been socialized as people.
Yeah.
I don't want to say black people because I've come to realize that human problems are not limited to race.
Yeah.
They're not limited to race. My point is, depending on the environment you are brought up in, is what is going to determine the adult you become. So if you struggle with certain conversations, it's because those conversations were never tackled when you were growing up.
Yeah.
You know, I always challenge my family, my extended family, around the fact that as people, nobody teaches us how to handle conflict correctly. There's nothing wrong with conflict.
Yeah.
It's how you handle it.
Yeah.
That is the problem. So there's a healthy way of dealing with certain things. But the challenge is that is not something that we've accustomed ourselves with. That is why some of these subjects, they are very uncomfortable. And they're daunting. You know what I mean? You are very anxious whenever you have to tackle it, simply because, you know, everything is like a muscle.
You train it.
You train it. You understand what I'm saying? If I can lift up 40 kilograms now, you will say, hey, Mr. Mabuza, you are strong. But I couldn't always lift.
Yeah.
I started with 10, and then I went to 20, and then I went to 30, and then I can handle 40 now easily. Do you see what I'm saying? So the same goes with conversations. You need to flex that muscle.
Sure.
You need to flex. It's the same with fear. You know, courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is doing it in spite of fear.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So, but for you to be able to confront, it's something that you need to do and get better at. You understand? So the first thing that we need to do is get over the fear of difficult conversations.
Sure. Yeah. In closing, what advice, Jens, can you give to the parents, especially with children in the spectrum, boys particularly? Because of now, I believe, I don't know, it's something that we're not facing. And I believe if we would invest more time into these conversations and how do we tackle them, we can solve a lot of societal problems. So what advice would you give to parents out there that have boys and they don't know where to start?
And it applies to girls too.
Yeah, it applies to girls too. Yes. But another thing is, I don't know, I'm not a woman. I would say it's much easier for women, or I don't know. I wouldn't...
Here's the thing. Okay, if I may start. Our children are human beings before they are their condition.
Yes, of course.
Now, when you talk about a human being, you also talk about a sexual being.
Yes.
Our children are just as sexual as we are.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that we need to deal with.
Yes.
Because I often say to people, the problem is that whenever we see people with disability, we give them an angelic profile of sorts.
Yeah.
That they're so innocent, they could never do anything wrong. Guess what? Oh, they are very capable. So you first have to look at them that way first.
Yeah.
That they are very capable of feeling like this and of doing this. And they need as much assistance and training, if I can put it that way, and guidance, that's a better term. Guidance to be able to deal with these challenges, number one.
Yeah.
Okay? Number two, like I say, it's both you know, there's a mistake that we make as human beings. And this is the thing I'm going to part with. We allot guilt to boys and allot innocence to girls without them ever having done anything. If something were to happen between a girl and a boy, between a girl and a boy, we would blame the boy first before we look at the girl. Why? Because we always see the boy or the male as the perpetrator. When I got divorced, first question was, what did you do? It wasn't what happened. Everybody's first question was, what did you do? Why? Because as a man, I've assumed guilt without having been guilty. 70% of men,
Yeah.
you two could probably attest to this,
Yeah.
lost their virginity through an older sibling or an older cousin or woman that was watching you. But nobody tackles that.
Yeah.
Women have the capacity and the ability to be abusers and predators.
Hmm.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So until we get to a point where we understand the potential that lies within a human being, it puts us in a position to be able to create an environment that ensures that that predator doesn't come up.
Yeah.
That predator doesn't have room to be able to, do their thing, so to speak. But yeah, that would be my
Mr.
conclusion.
Yeah, so in closing, I would just like to say one thing I've realized is that social media has become more important than it used to be. Yes, people look at it as some gossip thing, but we do learn a lot. For the fathers, we do have a group for, it's called Fathers of Children within whatever city. We have our own social group on WhatsApp, so we do chat there a lot. We are able to share advice. Mr. Mabuza happens to be one of them there, so it's, you see a lot of men can learn from his experience and how he does things. And for some of our ladies out there, because we've attended events where we are being asked, okay, for the fathers, you have this good structure that you have. What about us as women? So there are organizations that I know of. There's Autism South Africa, but the one that I've seen and I'm part of is Autism Ekasi, which is it's also on WhatsApp, and it does help a lot of the ladies. So you are able to just post your problem there, and then a lot of people are able to digest it and just give it different advices. So like I said, our kids are on the spectrum, so everything is different, and we need to understand that not every advice is good advice.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That's a wrap. Thank you very much, Mr. Mabuza. Thank you, Mr. Legale. I think this topic, I don't know, Mr. Mabuza, I'm advocating to say it shouldn't end here. I think there are a lot of topics that we need to break down, that they can help our fellow parents that are struggling, that they are keeping to themselves. So I think it's something that we'll still need to advocate for, so that we can have another session so that we can speak to this. But the 16th of May was the International Boy Child Day. It needs to be celebrated. And to the parents who father or mothers boys, I'm saying good luck, and just grasp it. Thank you so much. And we out.